I can handle this. I can handle anything that I experience. That has become my mantra. That is what I repeat when I'm facing something that my ego, my mind, is resisting. You go through life, things are happening out there in the world, and a lot of them your little voice is not going to agree with. And it's going to judge, and it's going to point fingers, and it's going to say it shouldn't be this way, and why did this have to happen, and that's not fair, and that's not right. I can handle this. I can handle anything that I experience. Michael Singer talks about this all the time. When that voice is chiming in and commenting on the world, what's actually happening is that that's just your personal preferences showing up. You have your life experience that got you up to where you are now, and throughout that life, you have developed preferences. You prefer things to be like this, you prefer things not to be like that. Everybody has different preferences. Yours are different than mine. So when things happen in the world, it may or may not trigger me, but it may or may not trigger you, and vice versa. You know what I mean? We've all got our own stuff that we're wrestling with. When you listen to your preferences, which is what we all do, this is how we're all brought up in the world. We all just think that this is who we are. You think that you're your preferences. You think that you are your life experience up to this point. You are not. You are not. You are the conscious energy that is witnessing all of this. Let me not get into that right now. The point is, when you listen to those preferences and you get caught up in it, that's where all suffering comes from. And this is exactly what the Four Noble Truths in Buddhism talk about. First noble truth, all of life is suffering. That doesn't mean that all of life is hell. It means that your identification with that voice and your preferences, that's why all of life is suffering. Because the second noble truth says suffering comes from desire, or the way Michael likes to interpret that, instead of using the word desire, use preference. They're the same thing. So, first noble truth, all of life is suffering. Second noble truth, all of suffering comes from your preferences. You preferring or needing life to show up a certain way to match your life experience. That's it. Third noble truth, in order to end suffering, end desire, end your preferences. Fourth noble truth is the Eightfold Path that talks about how to go about letting go of your desires, letting go of your preferences. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? It is simple. It is simple. It's very hard to do, but it's simple. I can handle this. I can handle anything that I experience. You have to, whatever is happening in front of you is done. Like, that's reality. You get a flat tire, you're freaking out, your mind is like, oh, I'm gonna be late. I don't have time for this. I don't have the money for this. I'm on the side of the highway. This is really dangerous. Resist, resist, resist. Pain, pain, pain. Suffer, suffer, suffer. I can handle this. I can handle anything that I experience. When you start from that, when you just accept what is, the opposite of resisting what is, when you just accept, it brings you to a place of calm, of clarity. That's how you want to handle problems, quote unquote, problems in the world. If something difficult is showing up in your life, do you want to be a neurotic mess where you're freaking out and you're screaming and you're crying and you're yelling and you're breaking things and you're smashing? Think about any time you've been in a panicked or fear state. How rational are you? You're not thinking clearly. You're not going to make your best decisions. Versus when you're calm, you're at ease. That doesn't mean that the situation in front of you, that flat tire, it doesn't mean that you have to like it. You don't need to love it. You don't need to be jumping for joy that this is happening. No, that's not real either. But you can handle it. You bring yourself to a place where you just accept, I have a flat tire. Now, from that place of acceptance, now you can show up with how can I engage? How can I help this situation? What steps do I need to do to move forward to continue on with my day? Well, I better, safely pull the car over to the side of the road. Maybe I call AAA. Maybe I get out my tire iron and I change it myself. Maybe I call a friend. Whatever. But you don't bring the suffering, freaking out, neurotic ego voice into that situation. That's one situation. And then, you're going to move on through your day and the boss is going to yell at you in a weird way. Or your partner is going to say something that was very scary for you. Or you're going to read something in the news. Or you're going to find out that your bank account is not what you thought it was. And now you got rent coming up and holy shit, what's going to happen? I can handle this. I can handle anything that I experience. This is the beginning of you freeing yourself. This ego mind that you have identified with is your prison. It is why you suffer. It is why you feel fear and angst and anxiety and depression, because this thing is not well. Human psyches, they're not healthy. You can let go of all of that. And you do that by accepting what is in front of you. If you resist what is in front of you, you will suffer. If you accept what is in front of you, even though it's difficult, even though you don't like it, even though you didn't want it to happen, the point is it did happen. That is a fact. You can't undo it. So rather than bringing all of the suffering, anxiety, just accept it. You just accept it. And then from that calm, centered place of acceptance, then you will show up as your best self. And you will handle the situation to the best of your ability, not to the freaking out worst of your ability. No more. No more suffering. This is the way. Let go of your preferences. Accept life as it unfolds. You got this. You got this because you can handle anything.